Guys, it's John here. I wanted to put a video out sooner, to be honest, but I caught something last Thursday, and I typically have the immune system of an ostrich. If you don't know, they have the strongest immune systems on the planet. But this, I don't know what the hell it was. It's been like a week and just kind of coming through it. So really, just been resting up, all that stuff. So I barely could talk these last couple days. But anyway, there wasn't much to cover. I did want to do an NBA video. What I will say is, if you watch my NBA playoff predictions, I just checked the standings, and I think like literally every one of my teams, I think except the one team in the West, I think they're all in the playoffs. I'm actually pretty impressed right now. The NBA predictions are looking pretty darn good, if I may say so myself. As is my shade on sharp prediction from like 2 years ago. Fun fact, I had anyone that's been watching within the last year and a half, 2 years, and not before, the first channel got Thanos snapped. It was right around the time of me talking about Mr. Beast, and did a lot of videos on him being just a complete phony. I'm not saying they go hand in hand, but it was weird. I got copyrighted. Yeah, shut down on Christmas, actually. And it was a couple years ago. But I bring that up because, like, my first video ever was talking about shade on sharp for the Portland Trailblazers and how I believe he's going to, out of nowhere, become some crazy superstar. And he's doing pretty good this year. So anyway, I think it's going to be a great basketball year. We had a good football weekend. We got 5 of 6. And a lot of people said I just hate the Vikings, that I'm just, I must just, not like them, and I keep wanting them to lose, and whatever, And there's not a lot of people, but there's a few, and I understand why, because literally every week I think I bet against them. I just don't see anything with this team and Sam Darnold. Again, these are playoff draws. You can't have Vikings Lions, in the next round or in the conference championship. It's too boring. It's way too boring. Same thing with the Broncos. That's why they got dusted. But anyway, we did get the Chargers wrong. And if I'm being honest, of my 6 picks, that one I probably had the least confidence in. So we won 5 of 6. Now we're in the divisional round. And if you saw my playoff video, then you probably know who I have here. But I will go into it anyway, just because things do change. So anyway, here we have... oops. Where are we at? Okay, so this is my, from like, I don't know, a week ago, something like that. And I personally had this. So this is the only thing that I had that was, off. I had the Chargers winning. We did have the Commanders winning. I'm actually going to show a video. So this is going to get copyrighted. I really don't care. I really just do, there's a channel that I think does a great job of bridging the gap between fans and people that believe it's scripted, in my opinion. And I've talked about them before. They get recommended to me all the time, and YouTube's not doing anything to slow them down. And they have come out before and kind of mocked people that think it's scripted. But their stuff is so true that I feel like people that watch it might, see their clips and then be like, maybe it is scripted just a little bit. So anyway, I'm going to show them in a second because I saw the Commanders and it reminded me of that. We had the Commanders winning, made sense. The Bucs, boring team. Texans is the only one we had wrong, so obviously they won. So in this round, the only difference was I had the Chargers, Chiefs, I think it was, and which was a rematch, so maybe I should have saw that coming. They don't do rematches a lot. And I had Ravens, Bills, Rams, Eagles we had. This might have been flipped. I might have had, I think, the way I... No, because I got both NFC right. So this is how we had it. Okay. So the only thing that's different is one disposable team, the Chargers, is not in there. Instead, it's another disposable team in the Texans. And they're not going to win. Not a chance. And this is like WWE booking. It's perfect. This is why we did so good last year. They're not going to give us the same AFC championship. There's a reason they have the Eagles and the Ravens looking absolutely unstoppable. Nobody is willing to bet against Derrick Henry or Saquon. And what I will say is last year, I did point out, it's the reason I like the Falcons over the Bucks. Actually, I thought they were going to win because of Bijan Robinson, the running back. You see this year, Montgomery, Gibbs. They had that whole running back strike, and then they had to find like a reason to justify keeping running backs. They're talking about getting rid of running backs. It was crazy. So I did a whole video on why the running backs were going to just go nuts. So I get it. But again, in that same token, we're not going to get the Chiefs and Ravens 2 years in a row. We're just not. It's going to be Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. That's the draw. That's the money. And a lot of people think it's the Bills' year. So to me, it makes the most sense in the world. And then on this side, I like both of these have some caveats. I got laughed at, by the way, just for having them getting out of the first round. The Commanders here. Some guy was like, the second you said Commanders, I tuned out. Something to that effect. And a few other people said it too. And to me, I like the idea of the Commander-in-Chief. Little pun. And again, the two native teams. It's Washington political year. So it really has me thinking, I really almost want to think about changing up my pick from the Lions to the Commanders. But that being said, it's Dan Campbell's year, in my opinion. He's not going to get bumped by, I think it's Dan Quinn, right? The coach for the Commanders. It is going to be like a Madden game. It's probably going to be one of the most ridiculously rigged games that you've seen in a while. But just because they're probably the two most reckless coaches in the NFL. They go for it on fourth every time. They don't punt, that kind of stuff. And that would give us Lions-Rams, which would be Goff versus, again, Stafford, and they both used to play for the opposite team. But they did meet up in the playoffs last year, so the way that the Eagles are looking with Hurts and Barkley, I actually think, and I went into this when I did the playoff video, I was like, the only thing I don't know is are all four home favorites going to win? That's the only thing that kind of has me thinking maybe not. And I'll say, if one of my picks is wrong, I would wager it's probably going to be from the NFC. It's probably going to be like that, or maybe even that. But I'm going to go with this for now. The AFC picks I'm super confident in. The NFC I'm pretty darn confident in, because it would give us Nick Sirianni of the Eagles versus Dan Campbell of the Lions. So anyway, that's it. That's this round. Let's go into the covers really quick. So, Chiefs, Texans, 8-point spread. Chiefs won a lot of close games this year. They're at home. 8's kind of heavy. They're going to be playing Buffalo next week, who is 50-50 here. Buffalo, if they beat the Ravens, it's obviously, in my opinion, a more impressive win. I like the Texans too. Actually, you know what? No. Because I think the Commanders Lions is going to be close. So, of these long spreads, I like the Chiefs to cover the 8 points here. I think they're going to win for sure. And I'm going to take them to cover the 8-point spread. Look really strong to match up with Buffalo, who's looking really strong anyway. And then Commanders Lions, that one, it's heavy. So, 9.5, I guess I could see a lot of people on the Commanders, because I don't think they're 10 points worse than the Lions. So while more of the public might be on the Commanders, I still like the Commanders to cover the 9.5. I think they're going to make this game really entertaining, really exciting. And they got to keep it close for that to happen. So yeah, I got Chiefs covering, and I got the Commanders covering. Rams, Eagles here, 6.5 spread. I like the Rams to cover. Eagles win. I think they win by 3-4 points. I don't think they win by more than 6. So I think they will win, but I don't think they'll cover. And obviously, I got the Bills covering because they're winning. So for the cover, that's what I got. And yeah, that gives us this in the next round, which is what we had anyway. Chiefs, Bills, Lions, Eagles. Only thing that makes sense. So really nothing's changed. The only thing that's changed is, instead of bumping out the Chargers, I think the Chiefs are going to bump out the Texans. Now, this channel I'm talking about, here we go. So they get recommended to me And I look for some of their stuff sometimes anyway. And you can see they kind of blew up. And again, they don't claim it to be scripted, but some of the stuff that they do in their videos, I feel like you'll read the comments and people will be like, it's just got to be scripted. So this one I thought was pretty funny. We're going to watch this one together, get copyrighted. This
is the biggest kick of his life, folks. And here we go. Ooh, quick little adjustment here. Or a longer adjustment, I guess. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Brethren, what the fuck? Just another adjustment here? And here we go. I hope. Wait a minute. Holy shit! Huh, sock? Or do I fold it down?
It's not far
Kick the
off.
ball. I'm gonna just kick it. All that, and he fucking missed. Wait a minute. Let him cook. Ooh, hey, let him cook now. I said, let him cook!
So I chose that video for a specific reason. In the last 3 years, I've seen more field goal doink off the upright than ever before. Like, in the last 3 years, there's been more doinking off the upright. Whether they go in or not, it's kind of irrelevant, than the prior 30 years combined. And my only explanation is they got some kind of magnetic field in the mesh behind the field goal post or in the post themselves, which is attracting the ball to the post, because it just doesn't make sense. And I know it sounds crazy, but it's not that hard to pull off. And it just makes it where it's more exciting. So you have these 60-yard kicks that might be 8 yards to the left like every year before. All of a sudden they're either doinking off the post or they're going in. And I don't think it's a coincidence. Just look at the amount of like 50, 60-yard kicks. And now you got kickers kicking 70-yarders. That's just pretty crazy. And again, just so many of them bouncing off the post. Like, the odds, if you look at prior seasons, like go back 3-4 years, you might see like a couple in a season. Now it's happening like every week. So it's just another reason I think that they might do just to make sure there are certain outcomes. So they're a great channel. It's OG Lightskins. They got a ton of, I think most people that watch my channel probably know of them anyway. And again, it's not their objective, but I do think that they have a lot of people that watch their channel and then they're like, yeah, maybe it's a little scripted. Like, they did a lot of stuff on the Chiefs too, and how scripted it is for them. And when I picked the Chiefs, a lot of people think I like them, and it couldn't be further from the truth. There's no teams I really like or dislike. Again, I'm a wrestling guy, but I just kind of see patterns, and to me, they don't care if fans are aggravated with them. If anything, them getting to the Super Bowl, the whole world is going to be rooting for Dan Campbell here. And again, it's the Taylor Swift versus the Eminem Bowl, which is too perfect. So it's kind of like wrestling logic. You got to get the fans to really want the champion to lose the belt to the up and comer, or to keep his belt. In this case, they want everybody wants the Chiefs to lose. So, for a lot of people, they think the Chiefs might be too obvious, but I really don't think that the NFL, again, Disney, the same people that created Mickey Mouse, run ESPN, I don't think they care too much. So yeah, I think that's what we get here. So nothing's really changed. I thought I'd go into the covers, and yeah, these 4 picks in order. I would say Chiefs, Bills, Eagles, Lions is who I like, as far as like who I'm the most confident to the least confident. If one's off, again, I really think it's going to be the NFC. But I think we get Chiefs, Lions. I think that just makes the most sense. But again, that wouldn't be until next week. So these are the 4 that I like. That's why when I went with the Chargers, Texans, at the time, I'm like, well, they're going to get bumped in the next round anyway. And CJ might put on a pretty good game, but I think the Chiefs are going to look pretty strong here. So just wanted to cover that. And I wanted to do a live So this weekend, I'm gonna see what's up in the Discord. I haven't been in the Discord in a long time, but if there's enough people that want to do live, the last several times we did it, some of the predictions were pretty off, but we had a pretty good time. So I'll see if people want to do that this weekend. I should be feeling better. I think I'm slowly getting better every day, so I should be able to do that no problem. So yeah, I wanted to just go into that, and that was recommended to me. And they're funny, but again, the OG Lightskins, they also, I think, reveal a lot that people might just kind of not really notice. And the Commanders, that game was just absolutely absurd. And I think we're going to expect the exact same this week when we get the Commanders and the Lions. So take care and happy earnings.